I am still acquiring HBAR as of right now, and this may seem kind of odd to some people because they're like, whoa, take a look at altcoins, they're not doing that good. But $3, that is my price target. And the way I take a look at it is this. If let's say I am bullish in the future of this space and I'm bullish on something like HBAR, why would I not continue to acquire it if let's say the sentiment isn't good? Because if I'm bullish on HBAR when everyone is bullish on HBAR, that's kind of counterintuitive because take a look at initially when I was first talking about HBAR, the price wasn't doing that good. And then what happened? It had a very good pump. And then, of course, there was a dump, and now altcoins are not doing that good. But the way you take a look at it was that if back then I stopped acquiring HBAR and I just gave up or something like that, just take a look at all the hypothetical action that I may have missed out on. Even despite the pullback, HBAR is still way better than before. And the way you take a look at it is this, $3, it's still around on 20x from here. So I don't want to give up when it comes to HBAR. It makes no sense to me. I believe in this space overall, and the way you take a look at it is that if the sentiment isn't good, if anything, I think that should be a moment in time in which I should be bullish when it comes to the altcoin space because I don't want to be bullish when everyone's bullish, right? Of course, I still believe in the project at that time because if HBAR did do good, why would I suddenly be like, oh yeah, it's not good? Because hypothetically, if I believe in it right now, why would I believe in it later? But then why would I want to FOMO into something when it's already done very well as opposed to when I can just continue to accumulate more and more of the altcoin space isn't doing that good? This only makes sense to me. It's like, for instance, let's say I go inside of like a grocery store, let's say Costco or something like that, right? And if let's say there's like a discount on a bundle, I'm just making a random example here, but I'm just saying, if it's actually something that I like, if it's something that I need, let's say it's like toothpaste or whatever, then I would actually jump at that opportunity, right? But sometimes in the world of cryptocurrencies, a lot of my friends, they think the opposite. They think when the price is low, it's bad. Well, when the price is good, then it's time to for them to believe in it. But I work the opposite. Even though I'm dollar cost averaging anyways, I'm not just going to suddenly stop dollar cost averaging when the price is low. Or let's say when the space isn't doing that good. It would make no sense to me. So when it comes to Hedera, I still believe in it because even if we take a look at just the whole space overall, even if we take a look at, let's say, the S&P 500, we've seen a lot of, things go on with the market. But then eventually, time and time again, the markets do eventually recover. So when it comes to altcoins, I get it as of right now, when it comes to the market in general, I get how when people take a look at it, they're like, oh man, it's over and all this type of stuff. But the way I view it is that I don't think it's over for me. And I'm still going to believe in this and just continue to accumulate more, hold, and I just wait. Literally, that's it. Because I think Hedera brings a very unique, I would say, touch when it comes to this space overall because many projects out there, they're focused on using traditional blockchain technology. And it's worked very well, and I think it's going to work as well in the future. Nothing wrong with that. But why not have something unique and something different? And that is Hedera Hashgraph, which doesn't use traditional blockchain technology. Instead, it uses something called a directed acyclic graph. Now, if Hedera didn't use that, again, let's say it was just like a random, project using traditional blockchain technology, then it's kind of debatable whether or not it could maybe do good because at that point, there are so many competitors, right? Let's say like Hedera was focused on being a layer one competing with like Avalanche or Algorand. Then there's so many options within that space. There's, of course, Ethereum. We take a look at Solana. Again, there's a lot of options. Of course, like something like the BNB chain is very popular, but I'm just saying as well, there's a lot of competitors within that space. But when it comes to Hedera, it's pretty much on a league of its own. This is what I really like about it. It's so unique. I mean, basically, there's kind of nothing like it, in my opinion. So I don't see why something like this won't maybe gain some sort of attention, let's say if the market does hypothetically do very good. But again, the way I view it is this. When it comes to some people who may think, oh, there's actually a lot of competitors now because they take a look at how there's a lot of these launch pads and people keep launching these random meme coins and just random projects in general. I'm totally aware of that. But the way I view it is this. A lot of these projects that launch, they're not really viable, to me at least, because many of them never get listed in any sort of exchange, or should I say big one, right? And a lot of them never really gain any sort of traction. So yes, on paper, it seems like, whoa, there's so many more projects than 2021. Now, that's only fair to assume that as the space does grow and evolve, of course, there's going to be more projects. But what I see as of right now is that there isn't that many good competitors, if that makes sense. There's still kind of like a tight-knit group of projects, in my opinion at least, that have these rock solid fundamentals. And I'm not only just saying, in terms of utility, because of course a meme coin, I think arguably could also be argued as having, good fundamentals for what it is, because, it could have a good community, good exchange listings, good attention. So that could be good in that case as well, hypothetically. So I'm not saying only these type of utility projects are good. I'm not saying that. But then even if we consider, the meme coins that are viable, right? The ones that actually are listed in some pretty good exchanges, and also some of these utility-driven projects, much like Hedera, in my opinion, there isn't like drastically too many more, if that makes sense. At least that's the way to take a look at it in terms of the viable ones. But even besides that point, when I take a look at Hedera, it could be used for in cases like NFTs, DeFi. We take a look at even some aspects of AI. There's a lot of possibilities when it comes to something like Hedera. So I am not going to just randomly think, Hedera is kind of bad and all this type of stuff. Again, it's just that it's not doing that good as of right now when it comes to the space overall. But the way I take a look at it is that I'm not going to give up on something like this, because whenever the markets do decide to wake up again, when it comes to HBAR, it's historically proven that, it's went along with the ride to a certain extent. It wasn't like the number one project out there, but at least it went along with the ride. So if that happened before, why couldn't it happen again if, let's say, the markets did do better? So I'm just going to stay patient here, because some people out there say, the altcoin season already passed and all this type of stuff. Well, I don't think so, actually. Maybe as a worst case scenario, because usually as a worst case scenario, historically speaking, altcoins, they usually peak around 18 months after a Bitcoin halving event. So basically a year and a half. Now, a year and a half from the last Bitcoin halving event would actually mean around October this year. So I get it. Again, when it comes to altcoins, it may not be looking that good as of right now, but even historically speaking, as a worst case, this maybe shouldn't even be the time yet for altcoins to peak, generally speaking. And I can't say for every single altcoin, but then in my opinion, this is something that I just kind of feel, why would I give up on that? Now, even besides that, HBAR at the price of $3, market cap at that point, considering current circulating supply around $127 billion, it's around a 20x from here. But the way I view it is this. When it comes to something like Ethereum, which I get is very massive, right? Back in 2021, it reached a market cap of around $550 billion. And I just kind of feel like that was back then, years ago. And back then we had way less crypto owners. And also on top of that, I felt like the factors were less bullish. I mean, back then, during the peak of that boom, around 300 million crypto owners. I mean, right now we have over 600 million according to Crypto.com research. I think actually, as of right now, in terms of the growth of the whole crypto space overall, I think it's actually very impressive currently. It is just that the markets aren't doing that good. So then, of course, despite, we see a lot of institutional investors, a lot of enterprise adoption, just a lot of good attention when it comes to cryptos, it is not able to really, I think, showcase what it's capable of. So if I kind of feel like that, then why would I not believe in the projects that I do believe in and just wait and hold, and I'll just see what happens? Because again, if the markets do wake up again, I feel like what I saw when it comes to HBAR back then could hypothetically be amplified maybe in a better way. But only time will tell. $3, that is still my price prediction, hypothetically, in theory, for this board if it were to happen. However, there's no guarantees, but I'm still going to stay patient and I'm not going to give up. And be sure to subscribe if you gain value from this video. I'd greatly appreciate it. It's only the captain, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.